welcome to our seventh public review for Agile Hive Cloud. And thank you for joining in today. We brought some interesting news, I think, again, and we hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, you can either ask them immediately by raising your hand in the Google Meet, or just wait until the end where we have enough time to discuss everything. So why isn't it working? Now it is working. Perfect. The most important information at the beginning, the next review will take place on July 6th. So the first Thursday of July. And you are all invited to join in again. And some general updates, what happened over the last 4 weeks. We relaunched the Agile Hive homepage. And at agile-hive.com, you may find the reworked design and contents. Currently, there are still some parts missing that we will add over the next few weeks. For now, you can find all information on Agile Hive for Jira and for Jira Data Center and Cloud. You will find there the blog with news and updates provided by Joshua. And you find opportunities to reach out, like for booking a demo, requesting support, or requesting a feature as well. What we're going to add soon is customer success stories. You might know them from our old Agile Hive homepage, and we will, of course, add them to the new page as well. It just needs a bit more time. And we have a little recap prepared for you from the Save Some Europe. And I'll hand it over to Carl here, who is going to tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, thanks for that intro, Daniel. Some of you here in the audience might know that we might have met at the SAFE Summit. We have been at the SAFE Summit in Europe this year, which took place in Prague, and we connected with a lot of either existing customers or new people that were interested in Agile Hive Cloud. So we really got a lot of helpful feedback that will shape the direction Agile Hive Cloud is going into. So we more and more understand what are the most important things that we need to build now. And it was a very interesting 2 days, and we're actually going to be at the next SAFE Summit as well, which takes place in Nashville. That's on August 15th to August 18th. So if any one of you here is going to be there, or anyone that watches that later, we would love to meet again in person and have a chat there. And with that being said, back to you, Daniel.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Carl. Quite interesting. I think Cindy, you will be there as well. Some people of the dev team will be in Nashville. So really looking forward to that in August. So save the date. And with that being said, moving on to the product updates and the demo of new features. So what happened in the dev team? First thing, the future of the early access program. Probably some of you are still evaluating Agile Hive for Jira Cloud based on the early access version. And we already announced last review, I think, that we are going to discontinue it in the next few weeks. Our current plan is to still provide updates for the EAP version until end of June. So you will be able to finish your evaluation, try out some stuff. And even after the end of June, we will not cut it immediately, but we will let the EAP version run for another 1 or 2 weeks for you to have enough time to finish evaluating stuff and move over to the marketplace version. Very important note here, the specific data for Agile Hive from the EAP version cannot be transferred to the marketplace version. So in case you have any project hierarchy set up, any PIs planned in your evaluation version based on the EAP, you unfortunately cannot transfer that to the marketplace version or license. You will need to start from scratch. But the additional effort for the dev team to provide a way of migrating that did by far exceed the benefits. So we hope this is not that big of an issue for you, and we would be happy if you would give the marketplace version a try as well. If you already know of today that you will not be able to finish your evaluation until end of June or like mid of July, please give us a heads up and just let us know so we can work out a way for you and just have a little talk about it. There will be some kind of option, I think, for you to finish everything, and we will work it out. Speaking of releases and updates, our latest releases, you might have recognized that just today we released a new version for Agile Hive Cloud in the LSM marketplace and also for the EAP. Should be version 8.5 for the marketplace, and some other version number for the EAP. I'm not quite sure, since Atlassian does the versioning for us. So we are still sticking to our plan. Release a new version every Thursday. So in May, we released 4 new versions for Agile Hive Cloud. Some were bigger with new features, some were like a bit smaller and contained only bug fixes. We're still in a experimental phase for that. If you say those are too many updates for me to really catch up with the pace, or that's too little, I need to wait for the bug fix too long, just let us know. We're very excited for your feedback at that point. And we hope you enjoy the latest updates so far. You can always refer to siebert.biz/ahc-changelog for all information on what's new and what changed. This is updated almost immediately after we release a new version. And you will find all information there. If you have any questions or problems with new updates, you will find a link to the help desk there as well, and can reach out immediately. So what was included in the last few versions that we released over the last 4 weeks? So the changes included, we added a zoom level for the roadmap boards that I'm going to show you in a minute. We added an auto refresh feature for issue information after you edit them in Agile Hive via the Jira issue pop-up. I will always also show you that in a minute. Just today, we added capacity planning for team boards. And also we added, with the version today, a View in Agile Hive shortcut for Jira projects. And I'm also going to show you this feature right now. In addition to the new features that are presented here, we fixed some bugs and made some minor improvements here and there. And you can find all information on that in the changelog. I think we can provide the link here in a minute, so you can have a look at it after the review finished. All right, so switching over to our review side for Agile Hive Cloud, and you can see here I already opened up the team planning board for a team, and we're in the Team Brooklyn right here, and we have a bunch of demo data available. So we have a PI planned, as you can see here. We also have iterations available, and also we have from the ARC roadmap, we got some features that we are going to work on in the planned PI. And also there are already some stories and bug fix issues added to the board. And you can see that some of those stories already have a story point estimation on them, and others don't, like here. And what I want to show you first is our new capacity planning feature. And this helps teams to keep track in PI planning of their capacity available for each iteration. So when you drag issues from your unplanned issues from your backlog to the board, it may occur that you are planning over capacity. So let's say your team, some people in your team, some members of your team from the dev team do have vacation planned for the next iteration, or there's a public holiday, or you have any company-wide event taking place that reduces the capacity available in that iteration. You need to adjust your plan to that, and then you always need to like keep track in your head of how much capacity is available in each iteration, which is like, yeah, very challenging. And with this new feature that we introduced here in the top, you can just put a number there, like story points, for example, and then Agile Hive will automatically sum up the planned capacity or the planned load for each iteration automatically based on the story point estimation, and even display if you have planned over capacity right here. So for the first iteration, let's say there are a lot of people in your team are on vacation, and our available capacity for that iteration is like 10 story points. So you can see the current plan sums up to 8 story points. So the load for that iteration is at 8 at the moment. But let's say this story, the scope changed, and we need to adjust the planning here. So we have like 5 story points was the most recent estimation. We need to adjust that to 8. So this is the second feature that we added. You can see I am now editing this issue information, like the story point information, directly from within my Agile Hive team board in this modal. And as soon as I close the modal, the story point information will be updated on my team board, as you can see here. And also my capacity planning information up here has updated. And you can see that the load in this iteration is now higher than my team's available capacity. So it's 11 out of 10. So I should take a closer look at the first iteration of that PI and adjust my plan so that my team can at the end deliver every story that they plan to deliver in the first iteration of that PI. The same is true for the third iteration. You can see my capacity, my available capacity is 19 story points. The current load is 21. So here we also get the red indicator that we should take a closer look. What we can do then is just move, like grab this issue, for example, and move it over to another iteration. So you can see that it updates automatically here. Now it's 18 out of 19, which is okay. It might be a close call, but it's possible to deliver on time. And for this iteration, it's fine as well. So I just need to take care of the first iteration here and work this out. This is capacity planning. This is available for the team level, and it is available for each of the PIs and each of the iterations. And all of the data is being stored with Agile Hive. So you don't need to worry about anything. It's stored in your Jira, and it's available for every team. So the other feature I just showed you was the automatic update after editing issue information from the team board. I showed you how I updated this story point estimation field here. What I can also do is, let me just look out for another ticket. So what I can do is I can add or remove dependencies. And let me just add another one to an issue that is already on the board. So now I added this information here, this dependency of my team row 19 issue to the team row 37. And as soon as I close this, the board refreshes automatically, and I can see that this is the dependency that I just added. And so I always have the most recent state of data available in my team board, which is quite nice. The same is true for the portfolio layer, for example. So for the roadmap, here we have the same mechanism. So as soon as I assign this portfolio issue to me, for example, it will be updated in my portfolio roadmap board. So I can see it here, and the same goes for dependencies. Let's just see if I can find a portfolio issue that is already on the board to show this. So it should refresh, and portfolio 1 was obviously not on the board, but I think you can you can imagine how it would work. So there would be a A-line. Maybe I can just try again with portfolio 10. Oh no, wait, it's another project. I need to select this one. And as soon as I close it, it should add a dependency line here. Or did I just select the wrong issue? Oh, okay, here we go. Obviously some hiccup in the backend, I suspect. We'll have a look into that, but now it works. And as you can see, the update, just took some seconds to load. Maybe the state, the internal state of Jira wasn't in sync here. But this is generally how it works. It's available for all of the safe layers for both roadmap and team boards. Another thing I can show you right here on the portfolio roadmap is the new zoom levels that we integrated with one of the last updates. Probably you remember the old slider that we had on the roadmap boards that you could use to adjust the zoom level. This is gone now, and we now have 3 options that you can choose from. So small for the portfolio layer is the default, and if I want to take a closer look, I could always expand this and use it for more like detailed planning. If I want to say, okay, I want to set the end date for a very specific date here in the roadmap, I can use a bigger or a higher zoom level to have an easier way of planning here. The last thing that we introduced in the May updates is our shortcut from the Jira project to the Agile Hive view. So say I'm working on my team board in any of my projects, like here I'm in the Team Pro Scrum board in my active sprint, and I'm just doing things here and maintaining my stories. I can always switch over to Agile Hive view via this link. So let's say I want to see, okay, which of the stories should be finished before the next iteration, or which issues should I prepare for the next PI, for example. I can always click here and be redirected to the team planning board instantly, and it will load up my current PI, and I will have my planning state available within seconds, which is quite handy. And just a little outlook at that point, we are going to add a backlink from Agile Hive to your Jira project in one of the next versions as well. So say I'm in the PI planning, and I need to take a look at my team's backlog, for example, real quick as a product owner, for example. I then can just, I think we will add it here to the project navigation. I can jump back to my Jira project view with one simple click. I think this is everything that we have to show for today. As just mentioned, there will be more updates coming. Let me just go back to the slides here. So this is all that we introduced with the May updates. The short-term roadmap. What are we going to deliver in the next few weeks? We have a bunch of features planned, and there's a new one that we just squeezed in, since it's like more or less a quick win, but it got requested in many of our demos, also during the Safe Summit Europe in Prague. A lot of people who were interested in Agile Hive requested this feature. And we just call it Arc Planning Overview in Team Boards. What does this actually mean? It's, let's say you have your Agile release train, and it consists of more than one team. Then you need to know in the PI planning, when you're on your team board, if you have stories that do have dependencies to other teams of your art. So what are we going to do? We are going to give you the opportunity to display the planning board of other teams within your very own team board. So there will be like more swim lanes, one swim lane for each team. And you can then see let me just switch back to the demo side real quick and go to the team project so I can show you what I mean, and I don't have to describe so much with words. So you can see here we already made some preparations for that. This is the swim lane for your own team that also holds the capacity planning feature, and I can just toggle this, and with one of the next versions we will introduce more and more swim lanes here. So in this art, for example, there's another team Bronx, and this would be visualized here as an additional swim lane. It would be read-only, so I will not be able to make any changes to that team's planning state, but I can expand it. I can expand my own team's planning state, and then those dependency lines will be drawn across all the teams in the art, and I can see if my team has stories that do have a dependency to stories of another art, maybe working on the same feature, maybe working on another feature that needs to be done as a requirement for the feature I'm working on. And this will be just visualized all on the same board. And I think over time we will add some more filter options and indicators for that. So you can see instantly when you go on your team board. So you see, oh wait, this feature or this story does have a dependency to another team. I need to be careful and have a closer look at that during planning. So this is one of the most requested features at the moment. So we just squeezed this one in, and our current plan is that this is ready until end of June. So it will be released over the next 4 weeks. Hopefully I can already show you this in the next review in July. And there's a question, Cindy.
You know how excited I am about this one, but you said that the other team's boards would be read-only. So if I'm in my team board and I say, oh, I have a dependency on this other team, I can go in and edit my story to say, is required or is requires or is required by. And then if I refresh the team board, it'll show the dependency across that team. Is that how that will work?
Yes. It will reflect the default Jira permission. So if you do not have the correct permission for the other project, then it might not work the way you just described it. But basically, it should. If your Jira is set up correctly, you should be able to add or remove dependency links, and those dependencies then would be displayed on your board as well. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Perfect. Good question. So this is art planning overview in team boards. Maybe we rename the marketing name for that over the next few weeks again. But you heard it here first. So this will be added, definitely. Then we have features that are on the short-term roadmap for quite a while, like JQL filters for team and roadmap boards. We are still actively working on that. We have the first draft, the design draft, and the concept for it ready, and it's just waiting for capacity available in the dev team to actually implement it. Also, we are currently working on risk and objective custom fields and issue link types. This is we initially were looking at Agile Hive for data center and thought, this is easygoing because we have all of it available for data center already. But turns out in the cloud things work a bit different sometimes, and now we have to take a closer look again. And we are making good progress, but it will take some more days, I think. But it will be available within the next, let's say, 3 months. And also we are working on the concept and design draft for WSJF as a basic prioritization method that is commonly used within SAFe framework. And this is also on the short-term roadmap. And all of this, maybe except the first bullet point, are in preparation for reports. I think we already talked about that in the last review. That will be on our roadmap or on the schedule for the third quarter. Then also we have some UI and performance improvements planned. As some of you already noticed, the team boards especially are sometimes taking very long to load. This is due to the PI and iteration information, which we need to request at the moment for multiple times. So every time you load up the team board, it like 2 or 3 times requests the PI and iteration info, which just takes, some seconds. And we already identified some potential improvements there, which may drastically reduce load times. So we are going to have a closer look at that, I think, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So maybe there will already be an improvement in place for the next review in July. As always, you can find all the latest information on the roadmap at that link. I can maybe just go out of the presentation mode and copy it really quick so you have it at hand in the Google Meet. You can just take a look there. And if you have any feature requests or any comments on that, please just reach out, let us know what you think. This is very important to us. So for example, this feature here that we just added, we added based on customer feedback that we collected during Safe Summit Europe. So we're always looking for your feedback on that. Speaking of reports, I think we had that slide in the last review already. Our current plan is that we can release a first version of reports in the 3rd quarter of 2023, so not too far down the road. And we're currently starting with the first concepts and design drafts. As you can see here, this is like a very, very early draft that we put together based on things that we adapted from data center version of Agile Hive and some feedback from the market. If you want to help us develop or build this feature, we are happy to talk to you about it. And let me just copy that link as well. It's a lot of going back and forth here, so I will put that in the chat as well. If you can spare some time for us here and just talk with us about our current ideas and your ideas for the future, very welcome. Thank you in advance, and we're really looking forward to that. And then another announcement or like an outlook for the future and how we imagine that this review meetings take place in the future. I think for the data center review, we already successfully prioritized features together with our customers for quite some time. And I think, both sides really profit from that. Customers have a direct way to give feedback on their impression of the product, of their needs. And we at the development team get honest feedback, and we can work on a joint prioritization with all of our customers. And for Agile Hive Cloud, we are planning to do like a similar mode here in that review. We're still looking for a tool where we can do that. Maybe Miro, maybe we will try out some other stuff, but we will work on that over the next few weeks. And maybe in the July review, maybe the August review, we plan to have it ready and as an experiment, go through a first joint prioritization. And we would be really happy if you will join us then and bring your feature ideas and your requirements for the product, and then we will see how your ideas match with what we have planned for the product. And I'm really looking forward to that. So this just as an outlook for this meeting or for this review in the future. All right, so this is it for today. Thanks all for joining us. The next review, as already mentioned, will take place on July 6th. So we'd be happy if you find the time to join us again. I hope this time we will remember to put up the LinkedIn event a bit more in advance, not like 24 hours before we actually go live. And yeah, thank you for your time and have a nice day.